my third bee inspection. I'm going to start the hive smoke in here. Get the bees calm for my intrusions.
Alright, what are your goals today, Ken?
Inspect the overall general health of the hive, see if it's expanding enough to put the new hive body on, and to make sure queen's still laying. Hopefully we've got some brood being born now. When the first brood was laying, it should be about time for that. So I am taking the inner cover off. I'm going to smoke in top of the hive. We'll let that sit for a moment. Okay, go ahead and cut.
3, go.
So there are a lot of bees in here.
What do you see down in there? Just like a lot of activity, or?
Yeah, I'm hoping they got more frames filled out. If they got 7 frames filled, then I'm putting a new hive body on.
Why 7?
Because when they have 70% of the hive full, that's when they start going, uh-oh, we don't have enough room. So this frame, first frame, just like the last 2 inspections, nothing on it. I'll set that down right here. Second frame, nothing on it. Third frame, however, we got action, at least a lot on one side. So yeah. Oh wow, a lot of nectar going on in here. Get some pollen, but mostly it's nectar in there. And this side doesn't have much of anything, but you can see some of the pollen through the foundation.
Will they eventually build on both sides?
Of course.
Why do they start on one side and then the other?
They like building from the center out. Alright, little girls need to move. Alright, I'm going to get a little more smoke here. So, now we're looking at frame 4. Frame 4 has got a lot of activity on both sides. Nectar stores on this side, and brood on the other side. Brood is the light tan cap stuff right in here.
Do you see any
Larvae?
young larvae?
I don't at the moment. Does look like a lot of young bees on here though. They're kind of lighter tan, more pale colored.
Sure, yeah. I can see they almost white. Interesting. What color do they get when they get older?
Sir, they just get darker, more black on them. It's not a hard and fast rule though either.
What kind of bees are these?
These are Italians. Getting another hive soon. It's going to be at least half Russian, mixed with feral bee. Buying it from a guy in more towards southern Utah. So here we got a lot of empty cells. I wonder if we had a bunch of brood hatch recently. We got some nectar in here.
What about the time frame for brood to hatch?
There's one wiggling right here, or at least this one was. There he is, see it?
You zoom in on him. Is he doing a dance? What is he doing?
I guess he's doing the waggle dance, letting the bees, hey, there's food over here.
So he's communicating.
And we got a lot of nectar and some brood on this side. Now there might be, I don't see any larvae in here though. I just see capped brood.
So what does that mean?
It means they've already hatched, or maybe they change this over to some food stores.
Is that what you were expecting?
You know, I'm not sure what I was expecting at this point. Alright, putting this back in, try not to squish any bees. Next frame. Oh yeah, they're all getting lined up like the horses at a race gate. Nothing going on up here, go back down in the hive.
So why does smoke make them more passive?
It interrupts their pheromones that they communicate with each other with, to where they might say there's danger, and it also makes them think there's a fire nearby, so they start getting ready, gorged up on food, and that makes them more docile. Yeah, I think we've had a whole bunch of stuff hatch through here, because there seems like there's a lot less brood than there was before, and I see a lot more nectar in these things. But again, we have some tan cap cells, which are young brood, or older brood now. Oh, there's larvae in that one. Right underneath these bees. Right in that cell there, you can see a big fat larva. They, in the first day, they grow 5 times their size after they're hatched from the egg. And they end up growing over 1,500 times their size from egg to adult bee. Actually, it might just be 1,500 times in the larva stage. So,
How long before they go from larva to adult?
about 3 weeks. Oh, I feel like I squished a bee there. Oh well. Such is what happens when you're inspecting a bee. This one's a newer frame, newer used. The back half's only half used. It's got pollen in it, a little bit of nectar. I mean 9. Oops. And we got a comb started on this side, and a little bit started on this side. I don't know. Brand new comb just really makes me feel good. I always find that really interesting. I think I got quite a bit going on this side. But, I mean, it's not even halfway done.
Are you going to count that as part of your 70% full?
Looks like we're just under 70. However, the weather's warm. I don't know. I probably could get away with doing it just fine. Expanding this. Let's see here. And last frame, just a couple bees on it. Nothing else. I don't think I'm going to expand the next brood chamber yet, which would be that box, because we do have some cooler weather looking like it's going to start this next week. What I'm trying to do right now is put the frames kind of back together without squishing any bees. I'm trying to go. Hey, look at this bee, it's fanning. Right here.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It means he's going to get some more smoke. I can say these bees are real docile. They haven't, they don't seem aggressive at all. Okay. I'm shoving the frames together, getting them all on one side of the hive so I can fit the other 2 frames in that I've taken out. This one. And finally this one. I always ran out of film because our memory card's so small on that camera that we never actually see me closing up the hive. But you gotta be as careful as you can so you don't squish any bees. I like to leave a little gap on each side because the frames fit together with just a little bit of extra on each of the sides. Seems about the same. It seems like there's more bees this week. Okay, because I want to get the bees, because I'm going to put the inner cover back on, I want to get these bees lower. So I'm squirting smoke. Come on, he's really frantically fanning. No, you want to go down below is what you want to do. You want to frantically fan. There, now I can slide this on without squishing any bees. And voila. The inner cover right here has a gap, because the idea is the hot, moist air flows up and it kind of spreads out from the hive and it kind of leaks out down here. You want airflow through your hive, because if you don't get it, it can get all moldy and crusty. This bottom board that I have, bottom board's this part of the hive here, the bottom of the hive. It has a screen, which I can remove, and it has a bottom cover, which I can also remove, so that I can let air flow from the bottom of the hive through.
When do you want to do that?
When it gets real warm, really warm in the summertime, I'll pull that out. When it's not dropping below 70s in the evening. That's my guess. I probably better research it a bit more. But that's where I'm leaning, is in that direction. I was really hoping to put this last hive body on this inspection, but they just haven't grown quite enough. I had 3 empty frames and 2 frames that had very little on them. So that's just, these are ahead of schedule. They seem to be doing real well. This queen's laying real well. I didn't see any new stuff going on there, but they may be waiting for it to hatch out. I think we're going to see an explosion in the next week or two, and I'm going to have to definitely put it on next week. I always kind of thought this was iffy for this week, but I'll be majorly surprised if next week I'm not doing that. Smoker worked out a little better today. I'm still getting smoke out of it. Kept running out before, so I'm giving one last smoke here at the front, so I can put this entrance reducer on correctly. It got moved a bit. And this is where front of the hive you generally don't want to stay away from, because this is where they, will sense danger coming from. So if you're poking around the front of the hive, that kind of annoys them more, because that's where they station the guard bees, and the guard bees are job, of course. I was doing something silly. I was up here trying to get little bees that had gotten too cold and landed on a blade of grass and stuck, and I was sticking them in the hive. So I was poking a stick in there, and a bee came out and landed on my thumb on my right hand and stung me there. So, but when they're smoked, they seem real docile because they're confused. I didn't see any that were acting aggressive towards me at all. I've done other hive inspections where I had a bunch of bees just diving at me. They like to go where your breath is. I think they looked at it as a vulnerable spot, so I had a bunch of bees just kind of hanging out right here when I was helping this friend with his hive inspection. But his hive, it's this tall, and they have a lot of bees in it. Got a lot of work to do. There wasn't even any burr comb this time to clean up, which was nice. Things are moving along. If you have a nice hive going, you can get a honey towards the beginning of summer, because right now I guess they call it a honey flow, where they have lots of nectar because of flowers. A lot of flowering plants this time of year. But because this hive is so small, we won't be getting any honey, not this time. Remember, the bottom box is brood, the next box is for brood. The boxes after that are honey that you can take. But anything below those boxes, those bottom 2 boxes, is theirs. Anything above those 2 boxes, you can take. I'll use a queen excluder to keep her from going up in those boxes and laying eggs up there. It's kind of like a metal grate that she doesn't want to climb through because she's too big. All right, any more questions?